Already dropped one series this weekend to GC Aura. They've struggled. They've been going to game fives pretty much every series they've played. NRG just is sweeping everybody.
Well, Mouz are a team that typically always seems to make it quite deep into the brackets over here at DreamHack. We'll see if they can do it yet again. It is NRG against Mouz. And it is now currently over on DFH Stadium. We've got Turbo already up in the ceiling. Maybe trying to pick out Justin.
So Justin has been, I think, playing some of the best Rocket League he's ever played recently.
It's a high bar already.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's the only player in the world who'll think he's in a slump, but he'll, tweet it out, oh, I'm playing so badly right now, and then you watch him play, like, if this is you slumping, I wish I could be in, Justin's slump ability, like, permanently. That would be great. I'd probably be, like, you'd be one of the best players in the world if you're playing like Justin when he thinks he's in a slump.
Now go Garrett. Tries to force the challenge. Turbo can't get there in time. Was thinking about trying to steal some boost. Does pull himself off. This is another player that we're looking at, though. Speed burst onto the scene in December last year. And he has just been going from strength to strength ever since then. Justin, though, can go the whole way. And he will absolutely tear Mouz apart.
Just goes past everybody here. There it is, the Rocket League Summit champion. Doesn't really matter how many goalkeepers you've got. Justin will put it through them. Garrett's looking across here like, dude, what? How? How do you get it past their whole team in a straight line? Justin's like, I'm spinning in a circle, just air roll. No big deal.
Oh, Speed, though.
Oh, okay.
Taking a immediate shot. NRG did not have that defensive rotation in position.
Like, a lot is furious about that goal. He's just all animated his side of the stage. That's brilliant placement by Speed, though. And the near post is something that Mouz have always been very good at attacking quickly. They have faith in each other to get the ball center. You have, confidence that if the ball does arrive in that position, you can bet there's somebody gonna shoot, and as early as possible as well, as fast as possible. This time into the top corner.
Turbo, plenty of time. It's only gonna be a lot finally turning around to try and take him on. Very storied history. I mean, we look across here. But Speed does go for a double top, and he's hit it again! Speed is on fire!
Speed with 2 goals already. That has to be a good thing. Garrett G with a really unusual miss. That's some, position you'd never expect him to fail to make contact entirely. But Speed has read that miss, or at least he's accepted, even a player like Garrett, there's a chance he could miss this. So I'm going to go for the rebound, ignore Garrett, and actually, every time Garrett does miss, you can score.
Nice flick from Turbo. Pulls in just into the play. It's maybe Speed seeing this one drop down. There's a lot. What's played to the corner? This might be a good time to set up. NRG just not in position for it, though. They go for a wide rotation to steal as much boost as they possibly can. It's going to make life very difficult for Mouz now they're trying to move forwards.
The worrying thing for NRG is that the one team that they've lost to on land since they picked up Turbo is G2. And I'd say out of all of the teams in the scene, Mouz are probably the one who play the most similarly to G2. When they get ahead, they can actually add multiple goals to that tally and get way ahead and then start popping off. So this could be kind of a bad matchup for NRG in that sense. We'll have to wait and see how it develops, but Mouz with a brilliant start, already ahead, half the game gone in game 1. It's the best of 5 winners final here for day 2. Winner of this will progress to day 3 with a first seed.
I will say Mouz's gameplay so far, very clean. Every single hit seems to be as powerful as they can possibly get it. A lot. Just to try and give himself some space. Gets a block on Turbo. In comes Cooks. Might drop out for Speed. Love to try and get that hat trick, but I think for the time being, prioritizing that 2-1 lead is the biggest thing for them. As Mouz will give up some space here. Turbo Pulsar sees the ball locked to the top of him. Garrett G off the backboard. Justin will be the next player in, but it is blocked. And to be honest, NRG was, they got a lot of times to hit the ball there. Didn't really get any opportunity to shoot.
Yeah, I mean, they were the ones who were technically attacking in that play, but really the only reason Justin went for that ball is because he didn't want to back off and be 1v3. Like, he had to just go for a shot that he knew wouldn't work to prevent his team from being really up against it on the counter-attack. So Mouz are handling things perfectly fine at the moment. That's so smart, actually, by Speed there. He didn't play the ball because there's no real way for Garrett to get the ball past him dangerously. Just drive right by, demo the guy, and then after that happens, your team can collect the scraps.
Cooks here, up on the wall, couldn't get any further. Been relatively quiet so far in this game, but his teammates have just been popping off. Their speed, hat-trick hero!
Oh my goodness.
And he is gonna be beaming ear to ear.
Yeah, this is just a hard read by Speed. He knew exactly what Turbo had planned, and that was just to chip the ball in front of him. So he's jumped ever so slightly off the wall, not just to block it, but to shoot that on target. Like, I firmly believe that Speed is meant to get that ball onto the NRG net. Mouz are looking fantastic. This suddenly puts the 3-2 win against Rogue in a new light, where Rogue actually playing really well, and Mouz barely scraped through them. This might be more of a group of death than we thought. Oh my goodness, it's almost another opportunity for Mouz. Speed should be okay at defense here.
Oh, he's made it a little bit more difficult.
He always had goal side of the ball there, so there's no real chance for NRG to shoot without him getting in the way of it.
30 seconds left. NRG needs something, and they need it soon. Off the back wall. Cooks here, takes his time. He's not done a great job, though. Gets another block.
Single side, that's the key. I mean, these are dangerous positions territorially for Mouz, but they're getting bodies in the way of the shots, so even if a shot does come in, it's just going to hit off a player immediately.
I think as long as it's communicated that that's what's happening, it should be fine, because the only real risk is causing a double commit on your team.
That'll be it. The time is just gone for NRG. And Mouz, just too good. Speed just too good. We saw a miss from Garrett for the second goal. We saw Turbo running right into, you know, what could be looked at as a pretty obvious dunk play for Speed. If you're Turbo in that third goal position, you really don't want to be chipping the ball. You're just giving Speed a chance to block you. Why not get behind it, flip into the ball, keep it close, and not make a massive risk that could put the game beyond your reach?
Well, it's definitely not an advised play, especially against Speed, who I'm fairly certain he doesn't even know how to spell hesitation.
That's pretty harsh. I do want to.
It's a word that he's never bothered with.
I now want to see Mouz win the game or win the series. We get a Speed interview after, and the first question is Speed. Spell hesitation. I really want to know if he could spell it now that you've said that. Because even if he can, like, that would really put him on the spot. I could see myself spelling like any word wrong if somebody just asked me.
I mean, we've already seen that nobody on microphone can ever do any sort of maths. So I actually feel like spelling a B would be more difficult.
What is Cox's face in this little replay? He looked absolutely disgusted with something that Speed did. Probably one of the double touch, I guess. It's like, oh, that is horrible. Oh, nasty goal there, buddy. So nasty. He could probably smell it all the way from his seat there in the stage. We're into game number 2. Mouz looking good. You know, Speed with all the goals there, but a lot in Cuxer have not put many feet wrong, if any, in that first game. It's worrying for NRG because they were certainly making a few mistakes themselves.
Oh, there's going to be Cuxer getting an immediate shot, but as you said, Speed just on a whole nother level in that opening game. And if he can maintain that, it's going to make life for NRG so incredibly difficult.
A lot running disruption on Justin there as he was rotating out. That's prevented Justin from playing the ball, and now Mouz have another attack, but Cux hasn't had success with any of his plays after that initial shot. NRG are just going to try and absorb some pressure for the time being. They know that Mouz are likely to overextend at some point. That is something that we've seen from them in the past. So far, so good for Mouz. No goals either end in the first minute of game 2.
Garrett popping it up high to start with. A lot can get there just in time. Very proactive defense yet again from Mouz. Once again, another huge clear. Speed and the rest of Mouz just hitting it cleanly every single time. And we're able to Cooks here. NRG, they're trying to hold the midfield, but every time they do so, they're just a little bit too far forward, and Mouz's clears are just going a slight bit behind them. It means it's very difficult to maintain any sort of momentum and any sort of speed on the offensive side. Another one. Justin might put this down to a lot. Tries to go for a setup. Had to recover in time. But now Cooks here. Tried to find a lot one more time, but it's a very controlled pace right now from both of these teams.
Well, the problem for NRG is that they can't box Mouz in, even if they want to, because Mouz have the ability to hard clear like any other team in the world. And not only that, but they can dribble. And if you've got players in your team, especially like Speed, who are confident on the ground, in fact, terrifying on the ground to play against, And that makes it really difficult to keep them back. We saw it in the Space Station versus Cloud9 game. Space Station were not afraid to dribble the ball out of defense, even though it was pretty basic dribbles, just pushing the ball forward. And that kept Cloud9 away from, you know, that constant pressure play that they would much rather be doing.
It's going to be Cooks there. Gets it past Garrett. Tried for one more block. Now it's a bit of an awkward pop. A lot did jump. Now over to the far corner. Shot from Garrett. Easily saved by Speed. To the corner one more time, but NRG getting closer and closer here. They've had a lot of the ball in this game. It's the first time that they've already had a few shots that could at all test the Mouz goal, but now we do switch to the other side.
Justin's certainly looking threatening. I want to see more from Garrett, though. A couple of his touches have been disappointing. Of course, he did have that whiff in the last game as well, so might not have woken up yet. Still, early on in day 2. This is their first real test, because they've handled Lotus pretty easily. The only sweep that we saw so far today in their opening match. Mouz went through a much tougher series, and that might have in fact warmed them up for this one a little bit more than NRG's did. Speed with a demo and turbo. Garrett has to come to the rescue. He's run out of momentum. Speed is just refusing to rotate out. He is constantly in the NRG half, causing problems, and a lot. Should have done better with that pass, but more chances falling to Mouz. Looks like it could be them who get the majority of opportunities in this series. NRG have got to change something up. Well, look at this. Oh my, what? Garrett with no boost has managed to stand it up and has stayed on the goal line. I think at that point, Mouz just didn't think Garrett would dribble in slow motion. They just let him do it.
They've learned from the Violent Panda school of corner dribbling.
Yesterday we did see the same play.
Now Justin over to the corner. Over a minute left, still scoreless over here. That might be about to change, however. As Cooks here does get that big Batmobile in the way. Speed with another power clear. This is going to be so annoying for NRG. Mouz very good at setting up for half volleys that do get them free.
A careless play by a lot. He's not had success with his offensive final touches. Somebody else will, and it's Speed who scores once again with an absolute boomer. And where's the third man for NRG? Justin not able to make contact. Turbo too far forward. Speed with surgical precision sends it down the middle and into the net.
Well, Mouz got 4 goals and Speed's got all of them. But right now, the plays to set him up have been phenomenal. A lot to take it all. Can't quite sneak it past Justin, who had an iron nerve to not pre-jump.
Yeah, it's brilliant stuff by Justin. He's all alone in defense. He does well. Back pass from Speed, who continues to be the man that is dominating, just running the show in this lobby. And you know, we've talked to him about this in the past. He feels like if he can just be let loose and attack as much as he wants, that there will be goals for Mouz. He's done he's given us his own personal guarantee. If you let me attack for an entire game, we will score. And if, you know, Cooks and a lot are willing to let him loose like that and just hold things down at the midfield and in defense, you can see Mouz not just taking down NRG here, but even sweeping them at this rate.
They're certainly getting closer to it. Final few seconds ticking away here, and NRG need to go for a full court carry. 2 players committed, however, but since they did make contact, they can get it down to the floor. NRG are 0-2 down, and Mouz are riding into the next round, and they're on the back of this man on your screen. Speed is just unstoppable. Cooks there refusing the fist bump.
I don't know if he just didn't notice there, or he's had enough. He's like, Speed, I gave you a fist pump a minute ago. Just leave me for just a second here. Hands are getting sweaty, but they're definitely pulling some of the best Rocket League we've seen from them. And this is a team that have come top 4 at DreamHack Valencia. They had a disappointing beyond the summit, but now they're back in the DreamHack setting, and they're playing at a very, very high level. Now, they've not been able to do this consistently for an entire tournament yet with this roster, but just like G2, they have some high highs. When they're on, they look like they could be the best team in the world. They look like absolute DreamHack, you know, major winning material right here. NRG, meanwhile, they kind of look a bit sluggish, and apart from a few flashy moments from Justin, there hasn't been a lot going on at their end of the stage. So they are not out of it just yet. There's a reason everybody thinks they're the best team in the world at the moment, and that's because they know not only how to win majors now, but also how to come back from behind. Let's see if they can do it again. It's game 3. Mouz on the hunt for that sweep to send them into day number 3 of the competition. before anyone else.
NRG have only got one goal across 10 minutes of gameplay. You look at the names on that squad, and it's simply not good enough for the quality here. And they'll look to try and change that in this game. A lot's touched, not fantastic. Turbo couldn't quite squeeze it in. It was a hard angle to try and get the shot from, but what a start that would have been. Speed looking for number 5, Justin. Gets that straight up to Turbo. What a fantastic transition this is from NRG. Garrett, back over to Justin. But once again, Mouz are taking 1 touch for every 5 NRG touches, and they're setting up from it incredibly well. Garrett had to get there in time. Doesn't matter though. Cooks here will force it over.
Wow, so Cooks actually just takes everybody apart by himself. I mean, that's careless again from Garrett and Turbo. And also Garrett getting dunked. You see a lot there. He's pretty happy with that read by Cooks. Just gave Garrett nowhere to send the ball. But I'm just gonna keep on saying it. Garrett needs to do better than this. He's one of the best, if not the best, American player that we've ever seen. If we look at Rocket League from its very beginnings until now. And he's not playing well enough for his own standards.
Well, you do look on the field, and for a lot, this would be such a vindicating win for him to get. He's the only player here without a major victory to his name. And he's had it stolen from him twice now by pretty much all the players on the opposing side of the field. Turbo Pulse are part of the Dignitas teams that was knocking him out of both the Season 4 and Season 5 World Championships. Justin and Garrett, the ones that knocked his team out, Complexity at the time, from the winner's bracket. A lot. This isn't a team that he wants to win against.
Absolutely. I mean, several times. He used to be criticized for having so many errors in the game and not being one of the top players, but he kept on grinding, kept on going, and he became one of the top players. And now NRG have got their first goal since, I think it's 6 consecutive, or at least 5 consecutive that Mouz have scored.
He afterwards. No, it doesn't count.
Oh, you wanted to see if he just popped that one. No, it's a great knock on by Garrett. Let's see if that wakes him up, because I want to see more from that guy. It was a brilliant transition, and you said earlier they're moving the ball great out of defense into attack. Let's see if they can do it again, because Mouz have already scored in this game. NRG need more.
Pop shots are the best shots in Rocket League, Johnny.
They're very satisfying.
They are the most satisfying because they require the least work.
Effortless speed applied to the ball.
Well, speaking of effortless, Speed has found it that way in this entire series. Now Mouz looking for another one.
Oh,
that's
no.
not going to be a move.
Oh, no.
Cooks it, sneaks it in off the crossbar.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. Well,
and
that is...
You can see a lot can't even believe this.
That's some criminal positioning for Justin. He just creeps forward off the goal line for no reason. And, you know, if he just waited in the net, that would have been the easiest save of his life. But that's impatience by Justin, and he's got his team in a lot of trouble here. Something that we see more often at LANs than online play. You know, you're so eager to get out of defense, get the ball away and into attack, but there's a time where you just have to wait in goal for that little bit longer. You don't want to come off your goal line and then have the ball straight over your head awkwardly.
Speed tries to find a way out. It's only over to Garrett, who didn't get as much height in the flick as he wanted, but he did get the double commit. Turbo Pulsar into the body of Speed. NRG should have made it 2-2 right there and then.
Yeah, Turbo's got to do better with that shot. Not enough power, and the accuracy was nowhere to be seen. He's hit it right at a goalkeeper who's not even moving. There's no chance of a pre-jump either, so everybody on NRG are having their misplays here, and Mouz, on the other hand, stepping up across the board. Pucks this time with both the goals. They've just got another 2 minutes to hold on to, and they'll be sweeping NRG to the surprise of everybody. I mean, I'm not going to pretend that I thought Mouz would win this series. They're playing like they're going to.
I definitely would have believed you if you said a 5-game series, which Mouz ended up losing, but 3-0 sweep was not on the cards for many people. And that's going to be Turbo. Couldn't quite dive in on time. Justin quite far forward, this time able to get a block. Gets a second one, but is heading towards his own side of the field. 90 seconds now. Garrett trying to move, trying to find a bump. Couldn't get it. Mouz on defense has been rock solid. Speed is the passing option. Couldn't quite reach him in time. And very mature, actually, from Mouz. They recognize when the play is dead, and they immediately abandon.
Yeah, I love that Speed didn't go for that ball, because doing so would have sent 2 of their players out of the game, and it's just for a 50-50 at best. You don't really want to be investing 2 players in a 50-50. Mind game from Garrett. The Speed will go straight through him. Now they're just a minute away from winning this series in dominating fashion against a team that we thought are the best in the world, tournament favorites.
Garrett has to come in, almost got demoed again. A lot was on the hunt. Gonna drop down, cooks it, doesn't want to go for it. It's Garrett, pops it up. Who's gonna be up to this one next? It's Justin! What a save, but again, these shots, despite the great positioning, seem to always be going into the body of the defender.
It's just not quite good enough for NRG, and they are running out of time. In fact, it seems like they've run out of time. Mouz hold all the cards. They've got boost on all their players. They've got the ball, and they are even the ones pressuring in the final 20 seconds of this game. Looking for more. Cuck's looking for a hat trick. Saved, though, by Garrett to keep NRG alive.
Justin pops. It's going to be Garrett. It's not much pace, though. Everyone from Mouz has got back into the outside of the field.
10 seconds. All or nothing now for NRG. Are they going to get any opportunity? Here comes Turbo off the ceiling, but he's all but cleared the ball, and Speed picks it up. Mouz just needs to get the ball into the ground, and they've won this series. Garrett, last chance. Can he make anything happen?
Into the field! Justin couldn't get there because Speed shut him down. Here's Turbo Pulsar with Cooks here, pushing it away one more time.
Still alive. Chance for NRG. There's not a lot of boost on Mouz at the moment. And NRG have done this before. They're keeping it up, and that pitch goes into the ground.